you join me on my first overnight session of the year, and I cannot be more excited to be here. I want to start off by saying a huge thank you to my neighbors Ted and Vera, who have granted my family and myself access to this waterfront property, in their words, anytime we want. So I've said it a million times, but here's the 1,000,001st time. Thank you for your kindness, Ted and Vera. And so far this year at this spot, I've done very, very well. I've had a number of quality fish over the course of a couple of sessions. Nothing massive yet, but thankfully it has been fruitful almost every time I've been out here. And because it's paradise 150 meters away from my doorstep, it's been quite easy to keep bait trickling in. So session's already off to a great start. I got a fish even before I could actually get this bit to camera, so hoping that it's going to be a fruitful night. The conditions that we're fishing in this evening, not so great. To be honest, every other time I've come out here, it's been sunny, you know, maybe the odd cloud blowing in, but it hasn't been like this. This is incredibly windy, and there's rain off and on. It's never been like torrential, but it's been off and on. But it's a wind from the west, and if you believe the old fisherman's tale that when the wind is in the west, the fish bite the best, hopefully that rings true this evening, and that the amount of westerly wind also means that there's more bites, so hopefully there's a correlation there. Fingers crossed. Chod's on deployment. Let's hope that it will be a fruitful evening. Well, good morning. A bit of an uneventful night, but I'm used to those if you followed my campaign from last year. 1:30 or something this morning, I decided to finally pull the rods, and because I'd had a few indications, and I thought, oh, maybe it's about to happen, and then I walked down and had a look, and I could see the weeds going all the way up from where my line entered the water to my rod tip. So absolute gong show. Pulled those in and decided I was going to get some sleep. So the highlight of last night was watching the fireflies in the grass and coming across the front of my bivvy, which was quite serene. It was quite peaceful, and honestly, I got a great night's sleep. I'm fish on. Got a rather rambunctious male here to start the morning. Said he doesn't want to have his picture taken. But very quiet last night. I eventually pulled the rods. It was making things unbearable, to say the least. A lot of false indications. So rods were right back out, and I think that took about 10 minutes. So hopefully this morning it's going to be a little bit more fruitful. That the spawn is done, and long lead males are out on the feed. But there it is, my second fish of the morning. Another melting take. Straight into those weeds again. And most of the fight was fought just trying to set it free of those weeds. So gorgeous fish. Gorgeous fish. This near instantaneous break-off really caught me by surprise. The fish had been going into the weeds almost every time, but this was the first time that the line had actually snapped. I was a bit shaken up, and it was very clear that this pressure system had the fish off. I had to pack it in shortly thereafter, but the coming days looked a little bit more promising. At least the wind was slowing. Well, as you can see, those conditions are far more favorable, and it would be rude not to, seeing as I've already seen one crash out right over top of the baited area. Let's give it a go. The temperatures were still well below seasonal, and I knew that this system was going to have them off. I knew that I had a short window, and I was going to try to make the most of it. Well, there we go. A gorgeous, gorgeous common. What a lovely little end to the day.